In our last episode, Adele found the perfect location to exercise at Evans Head. We witnessed a magic sunrise at Woody Head, explored local beaches, and friends visited us at Black Rocks Campground, and we took the ferry from Iluka to Yamba. Thanks for joining us at Indefinite Leave. We made our way further south after leaving Iluka and Yamba and arrived at Uluru Campgrounds in Urugir National Park at Minnewater. Access in is bitumen the whole way except a short 2-kilometre stretch at the end of the lightly corrugated track with plenty of potholes. There's 2 campgrounds, Uluru South and North, and both are located directly overlooking the beach. Cost to stay was $12 per adult per night, and children are $6 each. It is national parks and no pets are allowed, and you'll need the New South Wales National Parks vehicle pass. There was no Telstra coverage, only limited Optus available. There's not a lot happening with fishing, however, you can catch some tailor and things in tailor season. You might get a bit around off the rocks, but generally said not too much here. Waking up this morning, it's a little bit overcast. You can see a boat out off those rocks further out, and there's a couple of people surfboarding. The beach was full of weed and no fish were being caught, so we only stayed the one night before heading off the following morning for Red Rock, just a few kilometres north of Coffs Harbour. We were about to find another new favourite place in Oz. A 1 or 2 night stay was never going to cut it, and we stayed 5 nights. First plan was to hit the beach, and what a spectacular sight it is. We took the walk up the cliff top to find 2 shrines of both historical and recent significance. Red Rock was the home of the Gumbaga indigenous people in the mid-19th century. As European settlers moved closer to their land, a shepherd was murdered and mounted troops came to extract revenge. They entered the Aboriginal camp and began shooting. Those that were escaped were killed at the Corindi River, and others were herded to this headland, where they were forced to jump into the ocean. In recent times, in 2016, a popular local fisherman went missing from the headland and his body was found 3 days later. A monument to him is also in place on the headland. We made our way to the other side of the mouth of the Corindi River and instantly fell in love. It was breathtaking and I quickly jumped in for a swim. At sunset, we headed back to the surf to do some fishing and came up empty, despite seeing a couple of jewies caught beside me. The next morning, we took a quick walk down to the river and discovered a Landcruiser was submerged with its trailer still intact. I raced back, grabbed my snorkel gear and jumped straight in to check it out. The owner came back at midnight from fishing while hooking up the trailer, the vehicle rolled back into the river before floating downstream and sinking 100 metres away. I took some video footage and a few photos and posted them on our Facebook page, and the story went crazy. It was bedlam for the next week as media from all around the world contacted us for our footage. The post reached 1.5 million people on our page and had over 5,300 shares and 6,400 comments. It was total madness for weeks. That afternoon, we returned just after the vehicle and trailer had been retrieved. We met the owner and asked him about what had happened. He was absolutely gutted. The 4-wheel drive was his pride and joy, but his wife didn't share his thoughts and was finding the funny side. I guess she has bragging rights to driving forever now.
On social media, tourist Kev Hockey posted the photos after hearing the story of a fisherman who lost his car at the Red Rock boat ramp after arriving back from a nighttime fishing trip. Mr. Hockey said he couldn't resist to dive in and investigate.
So I took my snorkel gear down and jumped in to take off. First thoughts were just to check that everything was okay. okay and nobody was inside there. Jumped in and checked it out. So I went, had a look to see if the keys were in the ignition. They were.
As we left, we found this sign close by, which we found rather ironic. Back to the river mouth to go snorkeling, but the river was running way too fast. Adele tried some fishing with no luck, so late that afternoon we hit the surf once again for a cast. A pot of dolphins came through and that was the end of the fishing. We headed back to camp for drinks with our neighbours John and Joanne, and Leanne and Elle also joined us. The next morning we had a spectacular sunrise before the resident chickens checked out Adele's breakfast. We left Red Rock and headed up for a beach hop, checking out more local beaches. First stop was beautiful Corindi Beach. We've stayed at the local caravan park before and watched humpback whales performing straight out the front. Next we arrived at Arrawarra for a look at the bay, and we watched a kite surfer before making our way to the headland, where I took a walk out to the point. The local Diggers Club is a great spot with an amazing wall mural, and we picked up a helicopter while we were there too. The Look at Me Now headland at Mooney Beach Nature Reserve in Emerald Beach is inhabited with hundreds of kangaroos who call this place home.
I saw your face painted on the wall, shapeless in space.
These are wild eastern grey kangaroos which should not be approached, but it's very hard not to get up close to them as there's so many and they are often close to the walking tracks.
I spent the day haunted by your sight, hiding away, curse away the light. I remember fading out.
What did you say? There's a whale out there.
You're a memory now. You're all faded and brown. You're just namelessly hung on the tip of my tongue in a silent remark. You're a memory now. You're just dust on the ground. Just a whisper of steam on the crest of a dream while I walk in the
From the headland it looks out over South Solitary Island and its lighthouse, and would be a perfect place to watch humpback whales migrate during season. To the north is Serenity Bay and steps you take down to the beach, and you can return to the car park through here.
timid face.
We arrived at Coffs Harbour, first stopping at the Big Banana. Next we took a stroll down to Jetty Beach.
Tepid and so slight. Shake off the dust. Wipe away the years. Scrape off the rust. Nothing more appears.
The next morning we picked up a very special package. Insurance had paid out and we picked up our new drone, a new Mavic Pro Platinum. It's faster and quieter, and I can't wait to get this bad boy set up and start flying again. We stopped in at the clog barn where we watched a demonstration of how to make clogs.
Now you can see that I can work away with that very easily. The trick is they have to be very loose on your feet. They must be so they just slide on off that line. You can see really loose. I can get about 3 fingers in behind the heel. That's how they have to be. If they're too tight, you'll soon know you've got 2 lumps of timber stuck on the legs and you won't go very far. Slowly, ever so slowly, start to hollow the inside. And there we have our inside shape all cut. All we have to do now is to trim the front and the back off.
Once it was made, he asked who had come the furthest away. We won when we said we were from London. Nah, just kidding. But Brisbane was the winner, and Adele was very happy to take home the souvenir. We tried on some clogs before taking a walk around the Dutch village out the back. All of this is free, and Big Omer's Coffee House is on site too. The clog barn is located on the Pacific Highway in Coffs Harbour. We headed back to the marina and walked across to Muttonbird Island. Each year, edge-tailed shearwater birds, locally known as muttonbirds, return to the island from the Philippines to breed. Here we are on Muttonbird Island. As the name of the island suggests, this is a breeding ground for muttonbirds. You can see all their burrows here on the side of the mountain. We're up quite high. So we're up quite high, and they've obviously built those nests on this side as protection out of the wind. There's another one that's just right beside the walking track. There's so many of those all the way through there. The Queen came to visit many years ago. People clamoured over here to the island to get a look at her as she came into Coffs Harbour and trampled all over the nests and buried many of the chicks. And there's been fires here on the island as well. And then of course rats and other animals have been able to access the island once they gave access from the mainland, and that there is one of the rat traps they use with bait that apparently is doesn't affect the birds. It's just going to be windy up the top. Let's see how we go.
let you go so long ago, so long. This is not where I belong. So I wait for the shallow itch to pass, and I wait, yeah, I wait. Hey, hey, I'm okay. I don't need this anyway. I'm fine. It's yours and mine. Oh, oh, I don't know what I was ever hoping I would find, but it's time for me to leave this all behind.
On our way back, we couldn't miss stopping for an ice cream. So many options, and our ice creams were so yummo. One more look at the beach before hitting the road once again tomorrow.
It didn't feel alright, but I don't wanna stay and I don't wanna fight.
Next time on Indefinite Leave, we leave Coffs Harbour and visit Sawtell and Vella Beach before arriving at Nambucca Heads.
So I wait.
Then we fall head over heels in love with a beachside town, and we never ever want to leave.
And I wait, yeah, I wait. Hey, hey, I'm okay.
Hello everybody, thank you for watching that episode. If you enjoyed it, give it a like down below. Also, while you're there, if you haven't already, click on the subscribe button, leave us a comment, and thanks very much for watching. We'll see you at the next episode.